Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I'm here today to review a movie that was on Netflix. Dolemite is My Name, starring Eddie Murphy. Talking about the history of Dolemite, or Rudy Ray Moore. And I remember seeing the trailer for this, I don't know, 2 months ago. I think John played, I watched it at John's. And I said, I definitely want to see this. Um, and then, after that, it ran in the theaters for like a little bit at some theaters and stuff like that. And then, I think it's made it qualify for Oscar Buzz or Golden Globe or something like that. I can't remember. Um, and then it went on Netflix October 24th. I watched it last night. Well, I started watching it Tuesday. I watched some and I just went to sleep and then I watched. I had to go to bed for, and I watched the rest of Halloween night. And it talks about Dolemite. Well, Rudy Ray Moore's character Dolemite and how he became famous. And I never heard of. My own story behind Dolemite is I never really heard of Dolemite for a while. I might have heard it maybe once or twice, but that was until I knew of. They had like the black cinema back in the '70s from sneak previews and stuff like that because Cisco and he were talking about it. He had stuff called black exploitation. I saw a couple. I remember Elvira had Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde with Bernie Casey in it. And I knew of Blackula and Blackenstein. I knew about those ones. But I never knew of Dolemite or Rudy Ray Moore. And what happened was I was in Fort Bragg. And I remember renting, that's back at the old video rental place. And they had something I heard about on through Fangoria. Something Richard Band did. I think it was on Wizard Video, The Best of Sex and Violence, which is like a movie he made. It looked really, they didn't clean it up for the video. It looked really cheap. Based like, I think it was like David Carradine hosting. No, John Carradine hosting. These movies that were basically from his catalog for Wizard Home Video. And it started off more with some violence and stuff like that, and then ended up more being the sex stuff and action and stuff like that. And it started off with like Zombie, I Spit on Your Grave, and then Bury Me an Angel, which was that looks like a really good one. And they even include tunnel vision stuff like that. And they mentioned Dolemite. I remember the way he talked and stuff like that was very familiar. And then it was very memorable. Just these trailers. It had Dolemite. It had the Human Tornado. That's the way he said it. And then Disco Godfather. They had a trailer for those three ones, and then so I knew about Dolemite from that. I didn't see any of the movies yet, and then I was always kind of interested. I know in Fort Detrick, Maryland, off post with Sergeant Scarved, named Scott. He liked Big Daddy Kane, right? I guess Big Daddy Kane did a song with Dolemite. So we would out rap each other, and then Dolemite was going on, and he said, "Oh man, I give up." Big Daddy Kane said, "I give up." I think he was the one that really influenced rap and stuff for other rappers and stuff, or at least started the rap movement in the '70s. And basically, he worked at this record place, and then there was this guy that, would come in and he'd do all these rhymes and stuff like that. And then I can't remember what happened. He decided to, use that character. He was out with the bums and he recorded a bunch of stuff. He made that into his own character. He kind of ripped him off, made his own character. And this is the story about Dolemite, starring Eddie Murphy playing the Rudy Ray Moore character, because he passed away in 2008 or 2010. And it talks about him just being a guy trying to be famous, recording a lot of songs. He couldn't get no record play. He did a lot of records and stuff that he couldn't sell or anything like that. Finding out about that late 60s, early 70s. Don't want to know, and he paid them money, and they listened to the stories, he recorded them, and then he started to make it into his own act. And he was doing the nightclubs, doing like MC and stuff like that. And then he incorporated the character Dolemite, and took off, and he started doing this is a biopic, by the way, and started doing the whole thing with the albums, comedy albums, and then from comedy albums, he said, let's go see a movie, and they want to see the front page. I think I saw it. I can't remember. Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon and stuff like that. And they weren't allowed. It shows you the disconnect, because a lot of his comedy albums, I didn't think were that funny. I mean, I thought they were clever. I liked the way that he did things, you know, his voice and the way he rhymed and stuff like that, but I didn't think it was that funny. And they had a thing with him and his buddies watching. They said, I don't get this humor, you know, and stuff like that. I want to be on the movie screen and stuff like that, you know, doing my own thing. And it talks about his, the making the movie and I mean, I don't want to give it, well, it's a biopic, you know. And it talks about, you know, him doing the comedy stuff and then trying to make a movie. Dolemite. And after, you know, that's most of the story. They could either do a part 2 or part 3, but that's the main thing. It's really good. I really liked it. I thought Eddie Murphy did a great job. But there's no, I mean, he did a great job imitating him, but there's no way to really, when you see Rudy and Ray Moore, there's no way to really get that voice down. I mean, Eddie Murphy did a good job, but, you know, and it was a little bit touching at the end too. I know in the live stream, it premiered last week on Netflix. I know Christopher Sposa said he watched something he kind of gave up on, which surprised me. And it's like he gave up, and I was like, I wonder when he gave up on it, because I watched the whole thing. I really liked it. I think maybe the whole rise of the comedic stuff record. I think it really, I mean, it was interesting. And then whenever he wanted to, he had some success and he wanted to do a movie, that's why I think it really took off. I had the making of a movie. And it's kind of like about us, the creator, trying to get recognized, trying to get somewhat a level of fame or success. You know, like, you know, I tried doing YouTube or anything like that, you know, but I mean, his branched out. And that's back when you could release independents like that. It's really tough now. I don't know if you have to ship, you know, make an independent ship to studios and stuff, or like, I remember Ray, Crash Corrigan, I think that's his name, made a movie called Bloodshed for $500, and then I know Joe Bob Briggs, I mean, this is back in the early 70s, that's when you could still make a movie and sell it to theaters. I mean, for $500, I think it was only 55 minutes, and then they wanted to extend it to 70, longer time, like 70 minutes, so he had another 15 minutes of rodeo footage. That movie's really, I saw the 55-minute one. I didn't see, and that's the one where the original cut was better than the extended cut. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, this is back in the day, the independence. I thought it was fascinating. I wonder what part Christopher Sposa, you know, gave up. Probably the comedic rise and stuff like that. Because I liked Ryan's and stuff, but I never thought it was that funny. You know, but I mean, I'm not the intended audience. But I liked Dolemite. I really liked the movie. I give it a strong 9 out of 10. I really liked it. So hope you liked this video, buddy. Till next time, please take care of my legion. And Dolemite is my name, and fucking up motherfuckers is my game.